everybody. Today we're going to be making some hamburger gravel for all your backpacking recipes. Stay tuned. Alright, so you get your pan ready, your favorite skillet, then you just add your meat to that and brown it like you regularly would. I've got about 3.5 pounds of hamburger. I'm going to go ahead and add that. I'm just going to brown it up. I'm not going to add any seasoning or anything. The whole point is just to brown it up, and we'll get rid of all the fat and the excess grease. Alright, well, this is going to take a little bit to get brown and get well cooked and stuff, because you don't want any of it raw. So we'll be back as soon as I've got this thing browned up nice and good here. Alright guys, as you can see, we're getting pretty close here, and you can see all the fat and grease and stuff that's in there. And if you want to make it easier on you when you're pouring this, you can go ahead and spoon some of that out. You know, grab yourself a little ladle or a spoon or whatever, just to make it a little bit easier on you. But what we're going to end up doing is transferring the meat to a separate container, and we're going to rinse it all off with hot water. And I'll probably put it in a colander in the sink and just rinse it all off, and then put it back in here, and then we'll cook off the water. And I'll show you guys that as I'm doing it here. Alright, so as you can see, it's got it nice and brown, and everything looks thoroughly cooked. Now we need to transfer it over and get it rinsed off. Alright, so what you do is you get yourself a colander. A metal one would probably be better than the plastic one, but this is what I got, so that's what I'm going to use. And you can try and pour it in there if you're better than I am. I usually just make a mess, so I just kind of ladle it over, and then we'll get it rinsed off real good. Okay, so you want your water pretty warm, or as warm as you can stand it to mix it in there, because you got to get your fingers in there and mix the stuff around. And the best way to tell that you got most or all of the oil and grease out of there is that you won't feel it on your fingers no more. They'll feel wet but not greasy. Be careful you don't burn yourself, because it's still smoking hot in there. Just kind of mix it up. And then when you're done, you think you're done, you feel your fingers, they don't feel all greasy and whatnot. This one needs another rinsing. Then clean your pan out, make sure it's dry and free of oil, and put it back into the pan. I'll be right back with you. Alright, so we got our pan cleaned out, and we'll just go ahead and get our hamburger back in there. What we're doing is cooking off the water that may have penetrated back into the hamburger. This will really let you know if you have any grease or anything like that back that's left over in there as well. You should see some steam and stuff coming off there. I'll probably do this for another 3 or 4 minutes, and then depending on what I think, I might put it back in the colander and give it another rinse. It's really important to make sure that you get all the grease out of there, so it doesn't go rancid on you after dehydrating. It's really important to keep stirring too, because you don't want anything sticking to the bottom or getting burned on anyway. But, as you can see, it's still steaming, so the longer you can go with this part of the method, the shorter time it will take to dehydrate it. I mean, the dehydrator will get rid of all the moisture, but if you can just do a little bit more here, it won't take so long dehydrating. I don't know if you guys can see into there, but if you look at the bottom, you can still see moisture on the pan. And as I move the hamburger away, it evaporates really fast. So it tells me there's still quite a bit of moisture in there, but it's not grease or oil. So looking pretty happy with this one. I tried doing sausage a while ago, and that is incredibly hard to get sausage to dehydrate. I think it probably freeze-dried would be the way to go, or just buy commercial, because I tried it 2 or 3 times and never quite got it right. It was always greasy and never quite worked for me, but maybe you'll have a different experience with it. Alright, and like I said earlier, if you don't think you got all the grease out, put it back in the colander, give it another rinse, and then put it back into your pan and burn off the excess moisture. It's a little bit of a process, but it's really not bad, and you're really saving a lot of money if you think about it. So I'm pretty happy with this. We're going to go ahead and put it into the dehydrator and get that going. In the bottom tray, I put one of these screens just so you don't lose anything down on the bottom, but it's not necessary, not mandatory. I just put it in there because it makes me feel good. So anyway, we'll just ladle this stuff on here. You want a good even layer of it on there, so it dries fairly uniform, you know. Okay, so we got those leveled out there, and go ahead and get this set up. And what I've seen is a lot of these dehydrators are a little bit different from each other, so you're gonna have to play with yours. But you set it up to 160 degrees, and then I'd check it every 12 hours or so, or even sooner. You might maybe every 6 hours. Maybe rotate your trays, and until it's a really good and gravelly substance. So let me get this plugged in real quick. All right, guys, it's time to check our gravel here. It looks like it came out pretty good. Yep. Should be able to just crumble it in your hands. It's gravel. So now we get the fun task of getting this into this. So be right back with you guys. All right, everybody, had to change my jar because I just wanted to fill one jar, so we ended up getting a quart out of 3.5 pounds of Hamburger, and it's really good gravel. So the next step is just to seal it up, and if you don't have a food saver that you can use to seal things, you can use those silicone packages or whatever. It'll take the oxygen out of here, and it'll last for a long time. I'll go ahead and see if I can get a seal on this one. This is an old lid, but I think it's all right. Make sure we got a good seal, and we do. So that's all there is to it. You're on a hamburger gravel, and you can add this to, you know, anything you want a hamburger in. I usually use just a couple of tablespoons at a time, unless I'm making like the all-American wrap, hamburger wrap. I'll probably use a half a cup to a cup or so. But there you go, set up for the summer's backpacking meals. All right, thanks for joining me on this video, and if you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more backpacking related stuff. So till the next one, you guys take care out there, and we'll see you on down the trail.